welcome on behalf of all of us here. We expect a wonderful day ahead of you. I'm just going to go over a few housekeeping things, and then we're going to roll right into the program. So, first off, some of you may have already come down the pike, but just, usually when I do these things, people want to know what the restrooms are. So, if you head back out towards the lobby, you're going to, right before you get to the elevators on the right-hand side, you will make a turn and you'll find the restrooms down that hallway, okay? And we're going to have a few words to begin with in here, and then we're going to actually separate into 3 different groups for the leadership presentations. So, some of you may have noticed that you have colored stars on your name tags. And while you're superstars, they also have another meaning, and that is that each of the colors are going to start in a certain room, okay? And then after the first session, you're going to rotate to the next room, and then to the next room, okay? So, I'm going to say this now, so you might want to take a note, and I will repeat it, so don't worry, but I'm just going to say now that red stars, you actually are going to stay in this room for your first session, okay? Red stars stay here. The purple stars, you're going to go out this door and make a left, go down to the end of the hallway, and then make another left. Go down to the end of that hallway. It's only a few feet, don't worry. And then you're going to make a left into that room, and you're going to be meeting at first with Dr. Judy Smith for your first session. And green stars are going to come out this door and make a left, and make your first left into the first classroom, and you're going to be with Liz Mann from Allstate for your session. Okay? So I'll repeat that again at the end. I just wanted to say it out loud now so we don't forget. You might make a note. So, I mentioned earlier that I'm Jennifer Connell, and I've been with the Self Movement for the last few months. And I'm absolutely honored to be working with the Self Movement because of this very reason that we're here today. That we've all come together to be able to provide an opportunity to learn together and to give back to the community. And all with a view to enriching our lives. So, without further ado, I'd like to introduce the founder, whose dream is being manifested as we speak, Bill Bade. Bill, come on up.
Thank you. I want to thank Jennifer first. I'm going to try to be quick here because the important thing is really the speakers and our community partners that you're going to hear come in a second. But Jennifer has done a tremendous job bringing this dream to life, and all of you wouldn't be here without her. So if you enjoy what happens today, please do express your gratitude to Jennifer because she's played a large part of that. All of this was also made possible through a grant from the Allstate Foundation. So Allstate gave the Self Movement $10,000, and that's what's going to the scholarships for all the students out here today. So as you go out and you attend the leadership conference and you volunteer, keep that in mind. This is something that Allstate's done really for the benefit of the community. We're just tremendously happy to have a company in this area that does that kind of community service. I want to give a few brief remarks about the program, just so everyone is very clear about what we're doing here. Today is going to be a leadership development conference. So we have 3 tremendous speakers that Jennifer is going to introduce. They're going to talk to you about a number of different topics. I'm very excited because the presentations are all very different. So you're going to learn from different styles of speaking, and hopefully it's something you can take away with you today. After the completion of this session, you're going to be able to go out and volunteer on your own time with our community speakers that we introduce here. You're going to earn up to $50 an hour for each hour of community service that you do. And I also want to announce that there will be a $500 bonus scholarship for whoever does the most volunteer work. So we're going to try that, and whoever does the most, this is a little bit of a competition, whoever does the most, and we'll be talking with the community partners to see how many hours you're doing. Whoever does the most is another $500. So you can earn up to $1,000 for a scholarship through this program over the next 6 months. That money is going to be released to the college of your choice when you do go to college. And it's provided by Allstate and the Self Movement. We're tremendously happy to have you. So, with that, I want to talk just for a couple minutes about what the Self Movement means to me, and maybe get this thing jump-started, because I know you all are excited to get to the speakers. So, if you think about the word self, it's a very simple, yet unassumingly complex word. It really defines our identity as a person. It's this one concept that allows us to reach beyond just a day-to-day survival mode, and inspires wonder about our world. And so most of you here today, this will be your first day with the self-movement. But this process started about a year ago. There's been a lot of people involved to make it happen. And I wanted to really present you with something profound about leadership today. I thought very hard about how can I make it grand or huge and amazing, something that you've never heard of before. And I did a lot of research. Don't want to tell you how much, because quite honestly, it's probably more than I should have done. But through that research, I want to share with you some quotes, because someone's probably already said it better than I have. Leaders empower others to achieve their goals. That's one. Number two, an effective leader must communicate their ideas along with interpreting the ideas of others to the team. Third, to accomplish an objective, one must first take the responsibility in doing the objective. Four, if a leader gives certain advice, the leader should follow it also. And finally, while some people sit and let themselves be pushed into a certain way, I'm going to push myself into wherever I need to go. While others are frightened to start something new, I'm going to embark on a journey. And with leadership, I know I will get there with strength and passion. While others keep their abilities to a minimum, I'll seek out all of my high points and strengthen my weak points to use them to my advantage. Some of you might recognize those words because they're from your leadership essays that you submitted to the self-movement. So you guys already know what leadership is. Liz, Judy, and Becca are going to build on those skills that you already have. But remember, you have them. And when you leave here today and you go volunteer with our community partners, remember this. Be active today. Ask questions. Go further than just the boundaries of these presentations. And find out what other wonder is out there in the world. Remember how others' lives have been affected by hardship when you hear from our community partners, and how they've lost their identities through poverty, homelessness, and crime. Let us restore this identity and move toward our better self. Thank you.
So, Bill talked a little bit about the leadership portion of this program, and most of you know that there's a second aspect, and that is the community service. So, who here currently does some community or volunteer service? Anybody? Great. Do you want to share what you do?
I tutor children after school at the community center for 2 hours.
Fantastic. Tutors children after school in her community for a couple hours each week. Fantastic. Well done. Anybody else? Yeah, want to share?
I volunteer at my school, and I volunteer at Revelation.
Fantastic. Well done. So, do either of you want to share how you feel when you volunteer? What kind of benefits?
I feel very achieved, like I've touched somebody, that I've reached out to, a child, and they have improved their grade over what I have done for them.
Fantastic. Get that big smile, right? It makes you feel good. Do you want to share how you feel? Look at you, Dean.
When I volunteer, to me, it's really not about money. It's about helping people, knowing that I did something good for the community.
Yeah, good. Beautiful, thank you. So this is what volunteering is about. It's about taking part in something that's larger than yourself, right? And the beautiful thing is that you feel good when you do it, okay? Even studies show that people become less ill when they volunteer, all right? And it's good for their health. So, Self-Movement has partnered up with some wonderful nonprofits in the community that we hope that you will consider using your volunteer hours for as you move forward in the program. So we want to have each of the representatives from those organizations come up and say a few words. So first I'd like to welcome Bob Bryan from Dignity You Wear. Bob Bryan is the Executive Director for Dignity You Wear, and he's going to talk a little bit about his organization and how you can contribute to helping them out. Welcome.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Congratulations on being a part of this great program. Your aspirations to be leaders and to be college students is great. You're heading in the right direction, so proud of you already. My observation about leadership is the more you engage in life, the more experiences you have, the more insight you get, and it just sort of automatically find yourself leading. If you're a little bit smarter because you've been out there experiencing things, you will be at the head of the class. And the fact that you got up on Saturday morning and came down here for an experience, that's right on the right track already. I think when you go out and volunteer in the community, that's going to be yet another one of those interesting insights. I know just from working at Dignity You Wear, I had never worked at an organization that really dealt with kind of social service agencies and poverty. I really intellectually knew that there were issues in the community. Obviously, we all know there are issues. We read the newspapers, we see it on TV. But when I really got engaged with it, I began to really feel it in my gut what was going on and to appreciate what the community would be how much worse off the community would be if there were a lot of people weren't really involved. And it just isn't as simple as it sounds to solve problems. And so I think when you go out and experience volunteerism, you're going to get a lot of that wisdom that will make you a leader. And actually, the nonprofit world is a big part of the economy. There are a lot of jobs, and you might think, wow, this is really rewarding, and I might actually want to study some of this in school. I might study social work or management and go forward into a nonprofit career. So I think it'll be really great that you get out and get a little taste of it if you haven't already, or if you have, get a taste of something a little different. For us, Dignity You Wear does clothing. We supply clothing to other agencies. So we solicit the apparel industry for their overstock, so it's all brand new clothing. We bring it to a warehouse here in Jacksonville, and we sort it, we size it, we arrange it so that agencies can order clothes based on their specific needs, and then we pick and pack it. We're a warehouse, so if you ever thought about working in that kind of logistics industry as well, that's kind of us. 12 years ago, a man named Henry Landworth retired from a very lucrative hotel business and came to Jacksonville to be near his daughter and wanted to invest his wealth in philanthropic activities of his own making. And so he started looking around what is really needed in the community. And he actually did a focus group of homeless men at the Soul Center Center. And he was quizzing them, what do you need, what do you need? And finally one of the guys stood up and dropped his pants. He was not wearing any underwear. And he said, none of us have underwear. And that really resonated with Mr. Landworth, because Mr. Landworth was a Holocaust survivor. He'd actually spent his high school years in concentration camps. And what he ultimately carried away from the concentration camps was the desire to turn that horrible experience into really a life of love and service to others. It's an amazing story, and when you come volunteer, if you'd like to have one of his biographies, I'd be glad to give you one. He decided that was a problem that he could solve, and so he started to collect underwear and socks from local businesses like Kmart. He finally ended up discovering that he could collect all kinds of different kind of clothes, and it just grew and grew, and he ended up with his own money buying the warehouse that we're in, and now we circulate about $1 million worth of clothing a month, and a lot of that staying right here in Jacksonville. We're a national group, and we solicit and distribute all over the country. So it's really exciting if you think about it. And underwear is kind of, while we distribute everything, underwear is still the most requested item that we get. And we tell people we have this underwear drive. For $1, you can supply a pair of underwear to someone who doesn't have any. And when you think about all the barriers of being successful in life that you could have if you're homeless, for example, you get up in the morning and the first thing you do is put on a pair of underwear. You don't even think about it. But if you get up in the morning and you don't even have a pair of underwear